Wiles, Project Manager at Southern Research in Birmingham, Alabama.
Good afternoon, Margaret Wiles. It's great to be here, and I'm so appreciative of the opportunity to share this story of biotechnology growth in Birmingham, Alabama. Birmingham historically has been called the Magic City for how quickly it grew as an industrial hub during the rise of the steel industry. But as the economy has shifted over the past few decades, we're now undergoing a new transformation, emerging as a hub for life sciences and biotechnology. And our momentum was recognized nationally when EDA designated us as one of their 31 tech hubs in 2023. And the foundation for Birmingham's growth is due to several factors, including world-class research institutions like the University of Alabama at Birmingham and Southern Research, a growing startup ecosystem, and a very collaborative community of stakeholders across government, academia, and industry. UAB is a research powerhouse despite its relative youth. It's only 55 years old, but had $780 million in research expenditures in 2023, conducted over 1,400 clinical trials, and was ranked 12th nationally among public universities for NIH funding. Just to put that in context, MIT had $1 billion in research expenditures in 2023, according to NSF. They're also 3 times as old, so UAB has had a really rapid growth trajectory thus far. And right down the street from UAB is Southern Research, which is a preclinical CRO with an 83-year history of translating bench-side science into new drugs. Southern Research is currently expanding with an 120,000 square foot new research building on its campus. And to build on the existing R&D strengths of the region, in 2024, Southern Research launched a commercialization hub called Station 41 that provides support to biotech startups through an accelerator program, an incubator with leasable wet lab and office space, and the Therapeutics Development Fund. Incubator is already full, so we're hoping to expand the space in future years. And so far in our startup ecosystem, we're seeing a mixture of spin-outs from UAB as well as companies that are relocating to the region. And one of the attractive features is that it is much more affordable to operate and to rent space in Alabama compared to some of the more well-known and established biotech hubs on the coast. Another driver of our ecosystem growth is public support. So just to give one example, Alabama launched its first statewide public-private partnership within the past few years called Innovate Alabama. Innovate Alabama is committed to advancing policies and programs that grow our state's innovation economy. And so they have been instrumental in supporting Station 41 programs as well as providing funding opportunities directly to startups. So we also have some established industry players in the ecosystem like Evonik and Avanti Polar Lipids, now known as Croda, as well as some success stories like BioCryst Pharmaceuticals and BioHorizons, which has its global headquarters in the metro region. These are some of the things that are going well so far in our ecosystem. We also have several projects that we look forward to further advancing, elements of which were included in our Tech Hubs proposal. One that we're really excited about is called Catalyst. Catalyst is led by Southern Research and is a precision medicine program that provides free genetic testing across the state of Alabama, with a particular focus on recruiting from rural populations that don't typically have access to major medical centers. There's also a follow-on component of connecting participants to clinical trial opportunities. The long-term vision for Catalyst is to expand the program to neighboring states throughout the South and to build a comprehensive genomic data bank. We are also working on projects around AI-driven drug discovery. UAB and Southern Research scientists are collaborating to advance new AI platforms that will drastically reduce the time and cost that it takes to get a new drug to market. And on the workforce development front, the Alabama Community College System is about to launch a new biotechnician training course that'll have a hands-on learning component, and the state of Alabama has invested $5 million towards advancing biotech workforce training infrastructure. And to serve as the central coordinating entity and drive biotech economic development forward in Birmingham, we created a new organization called the Birmingham Bio Innovation Corporation. Overall vision for Birmingham is to be a national leader in the development of drugs and diagnostics, to nurture and attract companies to the region, create high-paying jobs, and build a skilled biotech workforce. And through all of these initiatives to strengthen the U.S. domestic supply chain for biotechnology. So we're really excited about all these projects. Would love to chat if you're interested in learning more, and would definitely love to invite you down to come visit. Thanks.
For our last Tech Talk for this round, please welcome Bill Bullock, Senior Vice President at the North Carolina Biotech Center.
Well, good afternoon, everyone. It is a pleasure to be here. Thank you to the organizers for the opportunity to tell you a story. I want to tell you a little bit of a story about economic transformation through biotechnology. It's been a little bit of the theme today about where we're headed. A lot of you know of or heard of Research Triangle Park. What you probably don't know is that when Research Triangle Park was created in the early 60s, not that long ago in my lifetime, not that long ago, 40% of North Carolinians lived at or below poverty. So this is really a story of transformation. I want to fast forward to 1984, early days of the biotechnology industry. The North Carolina Biotechnology Center, where I work, was created as a nonprofit organization to help build an ecosystem to build a biotech community in North Carolina. Fast forward to 2008, we had started to grow that economy, and we had a $42 billion annual economic impact from life sciences and biotech. Today, that number is $82 billion, and we anticipate by 2030 that could be a $100 billion industry in North Carolina, which, second to agriculture, would be one of our leading industries. We currently have 840 companies. We have 75,000 employees, and we're a very diverse biotech community. We're strong in lab and medical testing. We're strong in clinical research. We're strong in industrial and agricultural biotechnology, and we've become a global leader in biomanufacturing. We're growing. We're the second fastest growing hub of the top 10 states in biotech. And to give you some indication of that, in the last 5 years, we've had really unprecedented growth. On the economic development side, we've had 130 projects in the last 5 years. Those projects have the potential to create 18,000 new jobs, and it's an investment over $22 billion. To give you some sense of the manufacturing component of that, half those projects are in manufacturing. 65% of that workforce that's going to come is in manufacturing, and over 90% of the investment is in manufacturing. North Carolina put a stake in the ground 25 years ago around biomanufacturing, and we're starting to see the benefit of that today. But the North Carolina story is not all manufacturing. We continue to be a leading state for federal research, mostly through our 3 R1s in the Triangle area, but we have 2 new R1s, one in the east and one in the west in North Carolina. And we've recently created something called NC Innovation, which is a $500 million endowment from the state to promote research at our universities across North Carolina. We're continuing to build and expand our bio-based economy in North Carolina. A lot of the conversation we've had today, we are the recipient of an NSF engine around regenerative medicine in central North Carolina. We are the first U.S. center, a Bezos Center for Sustainable Protein at North Carolina State University, a $30 million investment. And we're proud to be working with Biomate as one of the down-selected states working towards enhancing, as we've discussed and as mentioned in the report, expanding bioindustrial pilot manufacturing. So lastly, I just want to note that all of this success has really been built on the foundation of talent and workforce development. So in addition to the 10,000 graduates that come out of our universities in bio-related fields, we have a 58 community college system of which we coordinate through something called NC Bio Network. That NC Bio Network collaborative across our community colleges is currently involved in investing over $100 million in facilities for training in biotechnology and more specifically bioprocessing and biomanufacturing. And this is where we'll be integrating much of what we talked about today around areas of automation, robotics, AI, and building the biotech workforce of tomorrow. We also were the recipient of an EDA Build Back Better Regional Challenge Grant focused on expanding rural access to these life science manufacturing jobs. So in closing, I just want to use the old term, teamwork makes the dream work. And I wanted to just give you a quick impression of what it looks like when you take kind of a whole estate approach over a prolonged period, the type of impact you can have from an economic perspective. And the Biotech Center has been part of that process for over 40 years. And we look forward to what's to come and playing our part in helping to implement the recommendations of the Commission report. Thanks.